Welcome back, everyone, to Grow Out of It, a podcast about laughing at, learning from, and loving our creative childhood selves. I'm your best friend, Emily Holman.
And I'm your best friend, Erica Scott.
So before we start, I have to tell you about, I was at HBS and we were talking about acronyms or something, and then one of my coworkers, Amy, was like, you guys remember the ROUSs from Princess Bride?
Yes!
So, of course, we had to look up the YouTube video where, like, where the scene happens, and they're walking through the fire swamp and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, Wesley, what about the rodents of unusual sizes? And he's like, oh, the ROUSs? I don't think they exist. And then somebody fucking throws a puppet at him. I know! And he has to fight with this rat puppet in the swamp for his life. And Buttercup's standing over there, like, holding a stick but not doing anything with it.
Oh my god.
The Princess Bride is so good.
It's so underrated. I love him because he's, like, Men in Tights, too, and they're just so funny to watch back to back.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Some of my favorite childhood movies. Well, I'm really, like, zoning out. I am hard in the reminiscence right now.
We used to push each other down the hill at recess.
And yell, as you wish. And then we would just run back up the hill and push the next person down. Oh, and you know, the reason I got sent to the principal's office the only time in my life was because I didn't do it with you that one day, that fateful day in 4th grade. Yep, I decided not to play that game with you, and I decided to go gang beat up a child, which was fun.
I remember you telling me this story, but I don't remember what happened specifically.
Oh, it is vivid in my mind, girl. So we don't have to include this, but I think it's hilarious. So you had a friend named Abby. I'm sure
I remember that.
Abby.
I remember that.
You just decided to start hanging out with her every recess, and your homegirl was not cool with that. And so I was, like, grumbling about, like, I'm not going to hang out with Abby. And you were like, do you want to come? I think we were going to go race horses, which was us just, like, swinging and trying to get each other. Yeah. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. You go hang with Abby. And then at the time, one of my other friends, Mackenzie, was dating a boy. No, she wasn't even dating him, quote unquote. He just called her hot a lot, and she was really uncomfortable with it. I mean, this is 4th grade. And so she got tired of it. I think she pushed him down the hill, and then, like, a swarm of us appeared out of nowhere and started, like, throwing him around in a circle. Yeah, it was really intense. It was, like, and we even, like, stopped to be like, how should we, like, beat him up? Yeah, it was, like, pretty, and then, so anyway, I got sent to the principal's office.
And I was over there on the swing set, oblivious to it all.
Yeah. And the punishment was, instead of going outside to recess, I had to sit inside for one lunch period and read, which wasn't even a punishment because I just loved reading. So I was just like, 15 extra minutes of reading. Nice.
Oh, jeez. We were good kids, we promise.
Yeah, starting the podcast off with a very wholesome story.
So this week we are going to be continuing our epic wolf protagonist fantasy adventure, Warrior Cats ripoff, The Quest, Story of Friendship.
That was, like, the longest. I love that.
The words just kept coming.
She kept tumbling.
Sometimes you just start a sentence and you don't know where it's going.
I think that was our whole story, honestly.
Sometimes you just start a sentence and it turns into a 40-page long epic adventure story about a wolf, the most ignorant wolf that ever drew breath on this earth.
I love, like, I just want to hold her. I just want to hold her and sing sweet songs to her. Oh, bless.
Good old Iceclaw.
Or was it Ice Breath? No, that's the dragon.
Ice Breath is the dragon, but that's his, like, bullying name. His real name is...
What? Like, first of all, why do we have 2 ices? That's just confusing. Sorry, anyway.
I think technically he goes by Silent Wing.
That just really just trips off the tongue, doesn't it?
Silent Wing. His wings are definitely... No, the joke is that his wings are super loud. Oh, boy. Shall we?
We shall.
Okay. Chapter 2. The Grassland.
I'm sorry. I don't know what it was. I think it was the look in your eyes. Just like the trying to repress your laughter so hard. The grassland. Sorry.
The first sentence isn't even funny. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
even, like...
And I'm gonna find it hilarious. I have the worst sense of humor.
Now we're... This is a bad show.
Yeah, we're doing great.
Okay. Now where do we go? Kiva asked. Iceclaw drew in a deep breath, but her only response was, I don't know.
Oh.
This is in your handwriting, by the way.
Oh, call me out for it, okay.
Don't you buffoons remember anything they said? Look for the cloud that is shaped like a star, Shade growled.
The whole story. I think half of the story could just be summed up as, don't you remember anything that has happened in the last 3 pages?
These characters have chronic short-term memory loss.
Yeah, all of them.
Silly, we're not balloons, Kiva laughed.
I definitely know that was me because that's the only I would find that funny.
I find it funny now.
Oh.
Silent Wing put his claws on his face and shook his head. Stupid furball, Shade muttered. Iceclaw was surprised at his sharp tongue, but knew this wasn't the time to confront him. All of a sudden, Kiva darted off. Hey, we were supposed to stick together, Iceclaw howled and shot after her. Kiva stopped and Iceclaw bowled her over.
Okay.
I had to stop you from running off. We're supposed to stay together, Iceclaw said quietly, embarrassed. Well, if you must know, Kiva meowed annoyedly, I saw a mouse. A cat's instinct is to kill mice. Do you think cats know about instinct?
I feel like I don't know where I was going with that.
It's my instinct to lay in the same place for 19 hours. I'm a cat.
And then sporadically and spontaneously run for 30 seconds. I am a cat. This is our way.
It's instinct. Yes, but do you honestly think I'm stupid enough to just run off like that? She yowled, her face an inch from Iceclaw's. No, I don't, she stammered. Good, Kiva hissed, and she sheathed her claws and padded onward. And then there's the scene star drawn right there to indicate the passage of time.
So right there, you can just compare how much I write versus how much Emily wrote and committed to this book.
What's funny is that you actually stopped after Silent Wing put his claws on his face and shook his head.
Oh my gosh!
And then that whole conversation was me.
I wrote like 2 sentences. This is just a tragedy.
Wrote 5 sentences.
I didn't need that. I didn't need that confirmation of my work ethic.
Listen, 5 good sentences.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. I put his claws on his face. It was good.
And shook his head.
Shook his head.
About an hour later, An hour later, Kiva was back to her pack herself.
We just turn into vampires.
The whole time they were traveling, they were waiting. Sorry. The whole time they were traveling, they were walking through tall grass with many trees. Not as much trees as the forest, though. Okay.
Thank you for the confirmation.
Thanks
this
for clarifying.
Not a forest.
Silent Wing was in the lead, but then he abruptly stopped. Out in front of them stretched a wide open grassland. How are we going to find water here? Kiva meowed. You could use old ice breath over there, Shade growled. Hey, Silent Wing snapped. You know that's not a bad idea, Iceclaw said suddenly. Silent Wing could breathe ice on the ground, and we could wait for it to melt and drink it. What do you think the grass in the grassland is using?
Science.
I mean, I guess we sort of thought it through, though. That would take an awful long time, Silent Wing said, uneasy about the whole situation. Oh, come on, Scaleskin. It's not like we're going to cut your head off, Kiva joked.
Scaleskin. That sounds somewhat derogatory.
I think we're trying to establish some kind of, like, rapport between the characters, but also It's so disjointed that it sounds like they're just either insulting each other or trying to be friends, but there's no in between.
Is there in real life, though? Let's be honest.
Isn't friendship just insulting each other continuously?
That's all I do. That's how I make adult friends. I'm like, hey, bitch. And they're like, yes. And then you're friends.
And then you're friends. Come on, guys. Any day now, Shade growled, about 10 tail lengths ahead. Why did we measure it in tail lengths?
We don't know how long his tail is.
Was that a Warrior Cats thing?
Oh, probably.
Let's go find that golden hawk thingy then, Kiva meowed. Iceclaw's paws were itching to go to. So they set off, braving the dangers beyond their forest home. Oh wow. Sorry, I used the wrong form of there. I tried to say their paws were like eagle's wings flying through the grass, but I put THEY''re. They are paws.
They are paws like eagle's wings.
We knew.
Aww.
I was mostly good at grammar. Okay, their paws were like eagle's wings flying through the grass.
Yeah, I was like, when are we gonna approach that beautifully written simile? I almost said metaphor, but it has so.
Yeah, we remember that rule.
As every English teacher has burned into my brain.
Mm-hmm. Iceclaw loved the rush of wind in her fur and the thrill of the speed. She got a glimpse.
Speed!
Guys, I'm going so fucking fast.
More speed!
She caught a glimpse of Kiva streaking along beside her. She pointed all of her senses forward and let her mind loose. It sounds like she's doing drugs.
It also sounds like the cat is just running naked beside her. That's what I pictured.
Aren't all cats naked?
I don't need the sensibility behind that, Emily. I just need...
Kiva is streaking.
Yeah.
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 Iceclaw felt a feeling of exhilaration and power. She felt as if she could fly on winged paws all the way to heaven. All she could hear was her heart thudding and a rush of wind in her ears. Silentwing roared in triumph, and the feeling faded. He had to ruin it, Silentwing.
He's the worst. I feel like we don't like him.
I don't think we like Silentwing as authors for some reason.
How can you not like a dragon that breathes ice?
Right? That's so badass. I love Silentwing. Silentwing's my favorite character. I stand Silentwing. I leave off. Oh, the four slowed their pace, and Iceclaw noticed that the traveling herbs had worn off and hunger clawed at her belly once more.
That was straight from Aaron Hunter. That's I remember that phrase.
Hunger clawed at her belly.
Yes.
Those weren't very good traveling herbs.
Yeah, they lasted 35 minutes. You could have eaten a bag of peanuts and that would have lasted longer.
Okay, we're back in your handwriting.
Ugh.
I'm starving, Iceclaw said with a growl in her stomach. Shh, Kiva meowed. I hear a mouse. All of a sudden, Kiva jumped from where she was standing right into a bush.
The funny thing is cats actually do that, where they just kind of leap vertically off the ground with all four paws and then just somehow magically float still absolutely vertical into the tall grass or bush, and that's just so funny.
You got it right. You described it perfectly. All of a sudden, Kiva jumped from where she was standing right into a bush.
Right into a bush.
She dragged out a plump gray mouse with her sharp teeth driven into its back. We can all share, she meowed as she dropped the mouse on the ground. Okay. Iceclaw, Kiva, Silentwing, and Shade all greedily munched like they were starving for weeks. One single mouse! Do you know how big a mouse is?
Do you know how big a dragon is?
The dragon would be like, I'll eat you for lunch.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, okay, you resolved this actually, because later you said, I'm still hungry, Silentwing stated.
Okay.
We all will be for a while, Iceclaw replied, Kiva pricked her ears up. She must have heard something. Rabbit, she hissed. 2 of them, I think. Iceclaw shifted her... Is this whole fucking chapter about them hunting? Because we don't need to read all of that.
Yeah, sorry. I like food, I guess.
No, okay, sorry. After we will all be for a while, Iceclaw replied. I took over with the writing, and I wanted to do a hunting scene, too. So they get to...
round 2.
Yeah, we're gonna get rabbit now. Fine, but if you miss this, you'll get your ears clawed off. Keep a meow.
What? Wait, back up.
Oh,
What?
Sorry. I missed the line.
Okay. I was like...
Can I get them this time? She asked. Wolves can hunt too, you know. Oh, that's what Iceclaw said. Can they?
Can they?
Okay, Kiva said, fine, but if you miss them, you'll get your ears clawed off. You just ate, though. You split a mouse 4 ways with a dragon.
Aren't you satiated?
Yeah, aren't you full? Iceclaw crept forward, checked the wind, and pounced. She sunk her teeth into the warm body of one rabbit and brought the other down with her claws. Okay, apparently she's super talented at... How does that work logistically? Well done, Silent Wing laughed. I'll tell you what, how about I go catch birds from the sky? Kiva, you can get small rodents. Iceclaw can catch rabbits. Shade, you can catch fish.
I'll catch birds, but only if they're from the sky. Okay.
Why did they make the dog go catch fish?
The funny thing was, I didn't even question it. I was like, yes, dog, fish, yes.
I only want birds from the sky. If they're landed in a tree, I can't.
That's beyond my skill level.
Oh my goodness. This is the best one. Like, this is the best story. The rest of it, it's gonna be like, oh, you suck at writing, or oh, you suck at writing. But this is like, we suck at writing.
We both suck at writing.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, I actually addressed this. What? And we didn't even think about this when we were just making fun of it. One tiny problem. How am I gonna catch fish if there's no water, Shade growled.
Oh, we didn't even think about the fact that there was literally no water, and that was a whole plot point.
Oh, 5th grade us. Really school present
fast one.
Ooh. Oh, then you can help Kiva out, Silent Wing told him. Do I have to? Shade snarled. That annoying furball will talk me to death and melt my brain. She's not that bad, Iceclaw protested. She actually is kind of sweet, except for when she gets mad. She literally 5 seconds ago threatened to claw your ears off, Iceclaw. I don't know why you're defending her.
Yeah, these friendships are definitely forced, but that's okay.
They're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Is little Shade afraid? Kiva teased. Do I need to hold his paw? Shut up, Shade snarled at her. Let's just get this over with. It's back to your handwriting. This whole disjointed exchange was my doing.
Better than mine.
Okay. They ran into the field, testing who was the faster runner. Well, at least Kiva was. Iceclaw gazed over the plain, her ears pricked up, searching for any sign of movement. She lowered herself to the ground. Smelling a rabbit nearby, she crept slowly through the tall grass, unnoticeable. She pounced on a thin rabbit, teeth plunging into its side. And that's where it left off for time passage purposes.
What? What?
I think we think this is dramatic.
Oh,
like, leave it off in the moment. Leave the reader wanting more.
To be gained from it is the thing. There's no reward.
Okay, it's back to my handwriting.
Wow, my 5 sentences again. Oh,
and there's a beautiful drawing of a plane with the star-shaped cloud in the distance on this page.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's beautiful. Those snaggletooth mountains.
That's a good little fat star you drew. I like that.
Yeah.
Chunky boy.
The 4 were done hunting and had their bellies full. They had a quick drink and were plodding onward. After what seemed like a month, Iceclaw spotted a gray line on the horizon. Hey, look, what's that? She exclaimed. Mountains, and it looks like we have to cross them, Silent Wing growled. Oh, great, Shade snarled. Everyone's so mad.
Like, constantly. Also, horrible way to pass time after what felt like a month. Did that mean, like, days passed? Did that mean, like, it's been 4 minutes and she's just impatient? Like, I have no idea the time plot of this.
Considering how consistent her character has been so far, it could be either one.
You decide.
Now, listeners, if you want Iceclaw to be super impatient, dial 555 on your phone. Send in your votes. And that's the end of that chapter.
Oh my god, Emily, we can't just end on that.
Chapter 3 is titled The Bear.
So far we have, what was the chapter, the first one? The quest?
Chapter 1 was titled The Visit. Chapter 2 is titled The Grassland, and Chapter 3 is titled The Bear.
I mean, I don't hate the names.
I wonder what's going to be in this one.
Does take the element of surprise out of it, I guess.
Okay, we're starting off in my handwriting, so this next line is entirely my fault. I don't want to cross the mountains, Kiva complained in a whiny voice. It's too cold and steep.
Mountain knowledge from Kiva.
Where did I... Oh. Stop complaining. Besides, it's the only way to save the forest, to get to the Golden Hawk, Shade growled. Now get a move on. So they all started to trudge on again, and the farther they walked, the closer the mountains got. Yep, that's how travel works. Iceclaw felt as if her paws would fall off. Her tail was drooping with weariness. The sun was starting to set, and she noticed Kiva trying to stifle a huge yawn. I'm tired. Let's settle down for the night, Silentwing said wearily. Good idea. And good and idea, the G in good and the I in idea are both capitalized.
It's like we just had no concept of English. It's like we were foreigners.
What's crazy is that we were actually pretty good at English.
Yeah, we really were.
Like in English class, we didn't really have to... I said English clash.
In English class!
We didn't really have to try very much in English class. We're so good at English.
So good. We love English.
Okay. Good idea, Iceclaw mumbled. She patted the grass down and let her eyelids... She just was like, oh, good night. She patted the grass and let her eyelids shut. Immediately, a wave of sleep covered her as she entered the world of dreams.
Wow, that was...
Good night.
She said this open field with no cover sounds great.
Yep. Sounds good to me. I'm tired. Iceclaw woke in the... This is still my handwriting, by the way. It was a passage of time, and then Iceclaw woke in the morning feeling refreshed and energized. She looked over the horizon and saw that the sun was just starting to rise. She noticed Kiva yawning and stretching. Shade was farther away, hunting a vole. Why are these people so obsessed with hunting? Silentwing had gone...
I don't know, it's almost like the need to survive on food makes them feel like they need to...
Okay.
I'm sorry. The fact that we documented, like, literally every second of... Yeah, it is weird.
We're obsessed with hunting. Okay. Silentwing had gone for a quick morning flight. Iceclaw decided that she should hunt, too.
Don't be so... And the funny thing is, we didn't even like killing animals in real life.
Yeah,
I didn't.
About it. Okay. There's a whole section of hunting that we're skipping over for the listener's sake because nobody wants to... You've already heard that.
Yeah. It's clawed at her belly.
The passage of time... Their time has passed since then. It's raining. The rain was coming in torrents as the four made their way to the mountains. The star-shaped cloud still was snow white against the dark rain clouds. Well, at least they can see it. Can it get any worse, Kiva yowled? Then a strong cold breeze whipped through the grass, chilling them to the bone.
God damn it, Kiva.
God damn it, Kiva. You had to say that, Shade growled. Sorry, Kiva. This is in your handwriting, by the way. You did a good job with that.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, Kiva mumbled. Hey, guys, look, it's a cave. We can go in there for shelter, Silentwing. I keep wanting to call him Silentwing.
Call him Shia LaBeouf from now on.
Shia LaBeouf shouted over the rain.
Shia LaBeouf enters the scene.
Great idea, Iceclaw said. The four lumbered to the cave and laid down. Then Iceclaw, Silentwing, Kiva, and Shade all stretched out and fell asleep. A few hours later, a deep rumbling came from the back of the cave. Iceclaw's eyes flew open. Shade, hey Shade, she whispered, sitting up. I think there's something sleeping in the cave. Of course there is. Kiva and Silentwing are still asleep, Shade muttered groggily. No, I mean something else, something big, Iceclaw whispered. We're back in my handwriting, by the way. I doubt there's anything here, but I'll go check it out, Shade replied as he got up. Iceclaw decided that she should go too. She would have to face her fears sooner or later. Cautiously, she patted after Shade, setting down each paw silently. I think that was a weird way to say that.
Not even making contact with the ground.
She's levitating.
She's like not moving her legs. She's just like when an object bugs in a game and it just like floats without moving its legs across the ground. Oh man, I also like that Iceclaw is a hidden rap star because when she said Shade, there's something in this cave, and I was about to like bust out in a rap. Oh, okay.
Shade, there's something in this cave. I need to check it out sooner or later because I need to be brave.
We are so white. Oh my god. I need to check it out sooner or later because there is something in this.
I'm basically Eminem.
You got the haircut.
Oh my, okay. As they entered the darkest part of the cave, a horrible stench of rotten prey reached her nostrils. Iceclaw's eyes finally adjusted to the darkness. She saw a huge bundle of brown fur rising and falling. She gulped. It was a bear. Weren't they in the cave the whole time? Why did her eyes have to adjust?
That is a good point. Maybe there was less light the further they got into the cave.
Maybe. We'll go with that. A twig snapped as Iceclaw took a step back. The bear growled and opened its beady eyes. It sat up and looked around stupidly. Well, now we know how 5th grade Emily felt about bears.
She was like, fuck bears. Stupid beady eyes. You had like a traumatic Winnie the Pooh interaction as a child, and you're just taken out on bears ever since.
I did have a traumatic Winnie the Pooh experience.
What was it?
So when I was like 5, my brother had this stuffed Winnie the Pooh, like stuffed animal, and I decided that he needed a haircut. But I knew that I would get in trouble for giving my brother's toy a haircut. So I took some safety scissors and I hid under the dining room table and proceeded to cut off all of the hair on this stuffed animal on the top of his head. Just the top of his head. The rest of his body still had fur. And later my mom found me under the table still cutting his hair and was like, Emily, what is going on? What is...
Mom, obviously he needed a haircut.
Yeah, he needed a haircut, Mom. So I was grounded after that, but I don't know where I would have gone because I was 5, so...
You were 5 years old. Wow.
Yeah, so I did. So now I'm taking it out in my story.
So you were like...
Stupid bears getting me in trouble.
You were like, hey, Mom, I don't know. I don't know. I was supposed to be a Minnesotan accent? What do you say? You just say, you northerner. Your state doesn't identify with anything besides the north.
Minnesotan, I believe, and it's Minnesotan.
Minnesotan. We like bears and scissors. They were grooming you to be a natural-born bear's hair scissorer.
A bear hair scissorer?
Me not good with words.
That
me
sounds
5.
like the most lesbian thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mom, I'm sorry.
It was foreshadowing the whole time that I would like girls.
Yes, you at age 5 cutting the hair with scissors off a Winnie the Pooh bear does indeed foreshadow your lesbian tendencies as an adult.
I don't know why Mom didn't realize I was gay after that. I think I might just mark the story here and pick it up next time because this is a train wreck.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to show there's a picture of them with the bear.
Ooh, good bear drawing. Oh, Iceclaw and Shade, I totally ship it.
I kind of ship Shade and Kiva.
That's fair. I don't know how the reproducing would work with that, but
they turn into human form. I hope you still listen to our show after this.
Yeah, it's
But we're also still looking for content creators. If you're an author, a musician, an artist, a blogger, a dungeon master, any of those sorts of things, and you
a
have
chef.
Yeah, we could do that.
Just a video of you talking about Brussels sprouts for like 35 seconds.
But if you are a content creator and you have any like super old embarrassing stuff that you want to have featured on our show and consequently made fun of by the two of us, shoot us an email. We are at growoutofitpodcast@gmail.com. If you're an up-and-coming artist and you want your music featured on our show, go ahead and send a track also to growoutofitpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll feature you on the show. We have the same intro every week. It's by the band Mangosteen out of Columbia, Missouri. Thank you, Mangosteen, for our intro. But at the end of every episode, we're going to be featuring a different song from different artists. Thanks for listening to our very disjointed show and our bad fiction and our, I think, good jokes. So yeah, enjoy Tonight by Peyton Hubbard, and we hope to see you again 2 weeks from now. Sayonara, sucker!